Good morning and welcome to Racing Unleashed. Apologies for being muted there. Welcome to RU3 for the final time of 2025. This mini-series that has provided great thrills and spills as well as entertainment throughout the whole of these last two races. We're at Donington Park and Interlagos for today, two of my personal favourite circuits, one of them which I am just down the road from for the final time of RU3 this year. Before heading into that new year around February time where we get RU2 underway. We're looking really forward to that one in the future of 2026. There you see the beautiful racing lounges spread across Zurich, Germany and Munich, and in Madrid of Spain as well. We're live ready for some fantastic action. Like we said, two fantastic circuits coming up. What a day of drama it could be here to decide the RU3 champion for the very first time in Racing Unleashed's history. Obviously, the new format this year, moving away from the Racer and the Challenger League into this brand new format, is going to provide a lot of dramas going into next year, that is for sure. And one thing you can be certain of is we will be covering every single part of that action and every single step that these drivers take on their way to becoming possibly RU3, RU2 or even RU1 champion in the future. Getting ready to see what can happen there. The beautiful trophies on display already at Madrid for any driver that could be taking the win at the moment. It was a dramatic and interesting end to last month's race out at Suzuka, especially, and there is your championship standings. Tim Portsmatter takes a 10-point lead over Adrian Gomez in towards this first race. As you can tell, Donington Park behind me. Ivan Marino is in third with Roberto Miguez P4. Timothy Spearson had a bit of a nightmare last time out. He's dropped to P5 with Unai Morotto in sixth. From Adrian Christoffel, Guzman Miguez, Xavier Schmidt, David Verthwich, Norik Lockie, Harris Skenderi, Nico Mossa, Melvin from Jamie, then Lorenz Stump, Samuel Bartle, and Walter Troninger, Patrick Dubak, and Tyler Saber down the bottom end of the standings. What a day it was, though, back out there at Suzuka last time out. It was a fantastic bit of racing and a lot of drama for the drivers to have to deal with, let's put it that way. But Donington Park is this first race, and that man there, Tim Portsmatter, is your current RU3 championship leader. Can he convert championship lead into champion today? That is what we're all here waiting to find out and waiting to see what Tim Portsmatter can do in the Orange Simulator. And that man, Adrian Gomez, his closest rival in this championship. Can Adrian stop him at Donington Park and Interlagos? He'll be fired up for sure to get that one ready. Ivan Marino ready to go in the Yellow Simulator in Madrid. He also looks like he could be fired up for this race coming up in a few moments' time. With the qualifying, don't forget, if you are new to Racing Unleashed, the qualifying format is a one-lap shootout of qualifying, where the drivers have that one chance to get a lap in. They cannot see each other on the circuit as well. It is a solo qualifying session, so you will only be able to see the one car on the track. We will pick up one of the drivers, and that is who will be on board with. But that driver will have that one chance to set one flying lap and one good lap to be able to be in the best grid position that he possibly can. You see our Racing Unleashed colleague there just sorting out one of the headsets for the drivers, and we see a lot of the drivers sat in their simulators waiting to be placed into the Donington Park pit lane. Then home in the East Midlands, the pretty much the most central circuit in the UK. There is Sebastian Hirsch in Munich, just chatting to one of our drivers, getting ready to prepare them to go. He's obviously a Racer League driver from last season. Great to see him around and helping the drivers out this time around as well. A few new faces on the grid I've seen on the drivers list today, so it's great to see some new faces qualifying and taking part for today's action. It's Christmas tree up, all ready to go. Just under 2 weeks till Christmas now, and can Tim Portsmadder get an early Christmas present of an RU3 championship? The drivers look ready to go. They look like they've all got some smiles on their face. Or if you're Jamie there, you look dead set and dead focused on what you have got to do in front of you. And this is going to be an absolute key factor into the race today. Able to do their testing, they've been able to get their warm-up done off air. And it's all about now getting that in the race. What will be going through this man's mind, though? The chance of the championship in RU3 today. Timothy Spearson's not taking a nap, don't worry about that. He's probably just visualising the circuit in front of him and what he's got to do for Donington Park. Everything looks dead set and good to go at the moment in this RU3 race. This could be an interesting one to see what happens. The timing towers behind them as the drivers look like the colours of the screens was changing there. So is that them loading into the circuit? Adrian Gomez definitely is. He is moving the wheel, and you see the cockpit move there. He's come out the pit lane ready to try and put it on pole position. He's got 10 points to claw back today as Adrian Gomez. That's going to be the big factor for him. There's Unai Morotto, who's had a good showing last time out as well. You can see there on some of the simulators behind us, we are leaving the pit lane at Donington Park. The 2.4 mile circuit, the Grand Prix layout here at Donington Park. Beautiful, beautiful place. My home of where I go to watch all the racing. It's literally 40 minutes up the road from me. So I have to say, the track choices of this week are my favourites indeed. Donington Park, my home, and one of the best. And Interlagos later on. Such an iconic circuit. And yeah, what a place to go racing. Beautiful tracks for today's event. You don't see Donington Park used too much across sim events. So it's great to see it being used here at Racing Unleashed. The driver's going to find this tricky. Overtaking is not going to be easy around this place. So you've really got to make sure you can try and set yourself up. It is all about setting yourself up, but it's not about overtaking at the moment. It's about setting the fastest qualifying time out there at this moment. So we're coming down towards the Melbourne hairpin now, where the factories are in the background that used to be for the Formula E. Some still are there for the Formula E. Nowadays, you come through the Melbourne hairpin up towards Goddard's, and you'll have the little building for the hospitality, the VIP guests just at the end there. And now you come down with the pit lane on your left, not on the right, as I've said in the video for the track explainer a little later on. Down on the left-hand side, you come down in towards turn number 1 of Redgate Corner. Just down a couple of gears, just patient on the throttle, picking it up on the exit. Use that curve through Hollywood. Now you go. On Xavier Schmidt, we are on board. Down through the Craner curves. Are you brave enough to keep the throttle pinned in towards the old hairpin now? Very easy to run wide at the old hairpin. Through Starkey's Bridge you go, climbing back uphill before you come to the Schwantz curve. Little left-hander, flat out. Now brake hard for McLean's. Down a couple of gears. Coppice, trickiest corner on the circuit. Uphill, you can't really see the apex until you come over the crest. And it's a good take of that corner from Xavier Schmidt. This has been an extraordinary lap at the moment from Xavier Schmidt. Really has been an enjoyable lap so far. He's not put a foot wrong. Into the Fogarty S as we go now. And through the Foggy S as we go. Down towards Melbourne hairpin. Great overtaking opportunity at the Melbourne hairpin. And round it you go. Real hurry up and wait corner. Really patient you have to be on the throttle before pinning it up towards Goddard's, which again, another hurry up and wait hairpin corner. He locks up there, just coming into it. Little slide maybe on entry, collects it well, and he's going to come across the line. And what will that lap time be? Because it looked an extraordinary lap there from that of Xavier Schmidt, and it's only put in P7. So Adrian Gomez at the moment, your current pole sitter, what a lap time from him that was. Absolutely extraordinary from Adrian Gomez there at the moment. Nestor Garcia is currently in second place as well. So a great qualifying session from the drivers. Excuse me. In what has been a decent start to the day. And Donington Park, a very fast lap. We're going to get a good number of laps in here to see what we can do for this race. We have, though, a little track explainer of Donington Park.
Donington Park here in the heart of the Midlands, my home circuit, and famously where Ayrton Senna won back in 1993. Its only visit of the Formula One cars around here. A tight, twisty circuit with your best overtaking opportunities coming at the end of the lap. Donington Park provides great action and drama throughout the whole length of this track. You come down the start-finish straight then, with your pit lane on the right-hand side. You want to sort of come over the pit exit line to pick up your braking marker for Redgate Corner. Through turn one, wait to apply that throttle, and then how brave are you? Flat scat through Hollywood, coming down the most famous part of Donington Park, the Craner Curves. Can you keep it pinned through here as you brake heavily for the old hairpin? Down a couple of gears, get it on the apex, use all the curve on the outside. Through Starkey's Bridge you go, and climbing back uphill through the Swans Curve in towards McLean's. An overtaking opportunity, maybe not in these cars, but let's wait and see what happens. Coppice Corner, blind entry as you can't see the corner, you climb over the crest and you just have to wait a little bit to get on the power. Down the Starkey Straight you go then, and now you come to the right hand side of the circuit, ready to apply that brake for the Fogarty S's chicane. Flick it left then right, trying to take as much curb on that right hand side as possible before heading down towards the Melbourne hairpin. The best overtaking opportunity on the circuit. A corner though that you really have to be patient on the throttle. So easy to get that rear end stepping out. Apply it, come back uphill slightly in towards Goddard's to complete your lap here at Donington Park. Another hairpin that you have to just wait for on applying that throttle. Who will take pole? Who will win? Let's find out.
So that there, a little explainer of Donington Park. What a beautiful circuit this is. This is, and while all that was going off, we was told in our ear that Nestor Garcia is your pole man from Adrian Gomez, who did the exact same lap times. That is remarkable from the two drivers. Guzman Miguez, P3, only 16 thousandths of a second off the back of Gomez. Unai Morotto will be P4. A great day in the Madrid lounge. Jamie Ego, P5. From then that of Harris Scanderi. Where's your championship leader? He's all the way down in P11. Only half a second off the pole. It is very, very close in this qualification at the moment to Donington Park. What a set of times they are. But Tim Portsmatter has got a lot of work to do. The Swiss driver has got it all cut out for him coming up in the race in a few moments' time. What will he be able to do in that race? That is going to be the biggest question on everybody's faces this afternoon. Nestor Gomez, though, on his first appearance here at Racing Unleashed, is the man who takes that pole position from Adrian Gomez, like we said, with the exact same time. That is truly remarkable to see from the young man. Will he be able to convert that into a race win? That is going to be the biggest question on everybody's lips at the moment. Can he turn that into a race win? If he can, then that'll be absolutely fantastic for himself in this race coming up this afternoon. There is Adrian Gomez, second place. I don't think Gomez will mind that too much, but purely because of where Tim Portsmatter is down in 11th place. Adrian can be very happy with that one, knowing that he's in the box seat. And Ivan Marino, we've seen great qualifying pace from Ivan all season long. He's not been able to convert it as much in the race. Can he today finally get that podium? Going to be an interesting one for some fantastic action as well, because Donington Park always provides drama and thrills and sprills. And as we said on that track explainer, overtaking is possible at the Old Hairpin and at McLean's, but it's difficult, especially in a Formula car. The best chances, Redgate Corner, Turn 1, the Melbourne hairpin and the Goddard hairpin at the end of the circuit. They're going to be your three best opportunities, but you can make moves at Old Hairpin and at McLean's. In a Formula car, very, very difficult to do because it is so easy to just touch slightly and off the track you go. Let's see what these drivers can provide us with this afternoon. We're seeing some comments in the chat that's saying, let's go. Good morning to Tony, aka Fury's granddad, and the best track. Let's hope for some good racing, says Robert Ramsell. I know he's a fan of this circuit. He's always there. Every weekend he can get the opportunity. So let's see what these drivers can do as we get ready to get into the cockpits once again, and this time be out on the circuit. So for final time, like we said, in RU3 this year, we move to RU2 and RU1 as well as RU3 in the new year, towards that February, March time roughly. And that is where the full seasons will begin. We'll get to see some of the old faces back, the likes of Alejandro Sanchez and Michael Smeedel, who will take to that circuit. And this could be an interesting one to see what they can do in this new format of Racing Unleashed. I'm really looking forward to 2026. The possibilities of what is going to happen in 2026 look fantastic. It's all about the here. It is all about the now. Are we going to crown a champion in Madrid? Are we going to crown a champion in Zurich? For the first ever RU3 champion in this new format. Will it be Adrian Gomez? Will it be Tim Portsmouth? Could the unthinkable happen and someone outside the top two win this one? There's only one place to find out. We will try. And hopefully my director in my ear will tell me, we'll hopefully be able to bring you championship standings after race one with an updated table, hopefully, or provisionally updated table. Hopefully that is something we can do. As you can see, the beautiful new flagship lounge in the heart of Zurich city centre. A beautiful place to go, great bar, great food, great facilities, Formula One watch-alongs. Obviously not anymore, the season's finished. That'll come in, in the new year as well. But what a place to be. The flagship lounge, absolutely beautiful. I've had the privilege of being at the airport lounge, at the old lounge back in Kemp Toll. What a lounge this place looks to be. There's Tim Portsmouth. A thumbs up and a smile, and that's what you want to see, a big smile for Tim Portsmouth. Down in P11, not the qualifying he would have hoped for, but he's got that smile on his face, showing that he's still confident and still good to go at the moment. We've just been told in the team's chat that with the drivers on the same pole position time, our timing tower did have Gomez in second. The clarity is that the first driver who sets the time has taken the pole position ahead of the other driver. So that is why Gomez is second place for any of you that was wondering. And we'll see what happens in just a moment's time. The drivers, I think this is a little confusion now maybe, is to see who set that time first to get the correct driver on pole. So let's see what happens now then, as we're just getting confirmation through. And we'll see when we get ready to grid up and go forward in this one. This could be a huge day of racing at the moment. This could really be a big day of racing. Interlagos coming up for the second race. That's going to be an interesting one to keep your eyes on as well. That's going to be a real fascinating one to just make sure we can see who's got the better racecraft, I'd say, because Interlagos a little bit more about being consistent and a little bit more about keeping it all together, because it is, again, a tight, twisty circuit, especially in that middle sector. What can the drivers do through there? Looks like we're getting ready to take to the grid. The drivers staring at the screens. Tim Portsmouth was sat a bit more upright and ready to go here at Donington Park. Like we said, 2.49 miles in length, 4 kilometres exactly. This configuration has been there since 2010. It's the home of the British Touring Car Championship, British Superbikes, as well as the British GT. No world events come to Donington Park anymore, sadly. The last time Formula One was here was back in 1993, as we said in that track explainer, where the great Ayrton Senna won many years ago. Adrian Gomez, though, has been given the pole position ahead then of Nestor Garcia. That is your front row of the grid. So Gomez starts on pole position. Guzman Migles will line up in P3 on row number 2. He's alongside that then of Unai Morato, a Spanish top 4. Row number 3 is Jamie Ego. There then in 6th position alongside Harris Skenderia. Good job for Jamie there. Had a good qualifying back at Zurich, but needs to convert that one into a better result. Ivan Marino down the order in 8th place with 7th place with Maximilian Neres there alongside him. Walter Troninger, great qualifying for Walter, up the order with Norik Lockie alongside him towards the back. Then comes Tim Portsmatter. Work to do for Tim Portsmatter from there. Can he get the job done? He's alongside Navin Schwartzman, who is making his first race start as well. Xavier Schmidt, just after, from Lauren Stump. And it's Patrick Dubac in the green and orange car, alongside Andrin Christoffel, as we've been told, 60 seconds until the race starts. Tyler Saber there then, lining up alongside that of Mark Gamez. And then it's Timothy Spearson down the back of the order. What a poor qualifying for Timothy, alongside that of Melvin, who looks unhappy with his qualifying session as well. So let's see what will happen in this race. Is the beautiful, beautiful Donington Park race circuit. You can see the little castle in the background there, or what remains of it, just over the wall as you come down the Starkey Straight. Used to have the old Dunlop Bridge over the straight before the Formula One tried to get the Donington Park to host the event back again. But we're getting ready to go here. And for the first time this afternoon at Donington Park, for RU3, it's green and go. And it's a pretty good start from Adrian Gomez. He's already made sure he's covered the lead off. As he's already managed to defend it towards turn 1. Not under any pressure at all. Pressure them for second at the moment as they're going side by side through Redgate. Now in towards Hollywood. This is going to be crucial coming down in towards the Craner Curves. Who's brave enough to try and make an overtake here? You've got to be absolutely on the limit to try and get it done. A few side by sides happening in the background. Walter Troninger has had a terrible start. Melvin's gone from the back of the grid up towards 18th place. There is jumpers all around everywhere. Tim Portsman has stayed in 11th at the moment. Scandiri moves up into P5. And this is Guzman Migueles. Bit of a snap coming out of McLean's corner. Side by side, they still go up in towards Coppis for the first time. 24 laps here at Donington Park. And a great start to the day. If you are Adrian Gomez, you got the launch you needed to do. Nesta Garcia, is still on the back of him. Here is Norik Lockie then, down the order, side by side into the Fogarty S's with that of Tim Portsmatter. And that is Portsmatter moving up into 10th place. Good little move there into the Foggy S's for Portsmatter then. And now Norik coming under pressure once more from Schwartzman and from that of Dubac, it looks like as well. And did Dubac there just get the pair of them as Norik Lockie ran out of room on the outside line of the Melbourne hairpin in towards Goddard's. He's still defending on the inside now, and that is from what looks to be Melvin, I do believe. No, I think that's Walter Troninger and Melvin going side by side in the background and wheel to wheel there, but Norik Lockie dropping down the order by running wide onto the grass. Timothy Spearson's up a couple of places, but for your championship leader, he's up to 10th. For his closest rival, he's in the lead and he's pulling away from Nesta Garcia at the moment. This is Guzman Migueles in P3, looking towards Garcia, up in towards McLean's. There you go, East Midlands Airport, just over that wall. Beautiful scenes of the planes coming into land over this circuit. If you're a plane fan, it is a place to come and see some great racing and some planes coming into land. It's just behind that wall is the runway. But Guzman Migueles now then, trying to put the pressure on here, on that of Nestor Garcia, in towards the Foggy S as they go once again. Very easy to take track limits on that second part of the chicane, down towards the Melbourne hairpin you go now. A great bit of drama already up from Tim Portsmatter. Is now up into 9th place, so he's got one more, so them points just slowly coming down a little bit more at the moment. Oh, that's a big lunge from Unai Morotto, and a day late, dollar short. Unai Morotto has spun himself and Migueles around. That's given Harry Scandiri an extra position. And where's Tim Portsmatter? There he is. The yellow and black car has got past Unai Morotto. He's now up into P8. And thankfully for Guzman Migueles, he's not lost out too much. He's only dropped 3 positions there. But Adrian Gomez, fastest lap of the race, 1.5 seconds clear at the start already. He's got the job he needed to do. And there is Migueles Sure, there'll be a few words between himself and Unai, possibly an apology from Unai Morato at the end of this race. There is Tim Portsmouth, current championship leader, now up into 8th. He's just on the back of Stump, who is patiently waiting to get the throttle down through Coppice, following the traffic in front. Can he now try and find a move? He's not going to into the Fogarty S's, a little too far back. Got a great run through here though, and that could really set you up coming down towards the Melbourne hairpin. I'll tell you what, Stump there has done exactly what he needed to do. He's just carrying that momentum through. Great shot. Looking back to Tim Portsmouth, and there you hear Stump pick up the throttle after just being off it for so long. And this is a replay of what happened to Guzman Migles. Unai Morato just nowhere near the overtake of Tim Portsmouth, of Migles then, and just into the back of him. It's Tim Portsmouth who we're on with live, who pulls to the inside of Redgate, and up the inside goes Tim Portsmouth on Lorenz Stump. Great move from the Swiss driver, championship leader now up into 7th place. Stump though in the slipstream, coming down the crane of curves. You've got to have a lot of bottle to get it done down the crane of curves, and Stump thinks better of it now. Coming towards Starkey's Bridge, you go. As you climb up towards that McLean's corner once again, Portsmouth putting a bit of daylight between himself and that of Stump. And now that gap that Gomez would have had, you know, 1st to 11th, now becomes 1st to 7th, then points start to just get a little closer. And it's Gomez who's got to outscore Portsmouth by 11 points today, here and in Interlagos. He's got to get that job done. Into the Foggy S's we go now on the drone camera overlooking the beautiful scenery around Donington Park. Absolutely fantastic. There's a move further forward. That is Migles on the comeback drive then, getting up the inside of Maximilian Nares there. And through he goes once again. Does Guzman Migles back up into P5. He's got to try and chase down them podium spots that he was once in a few laps ago. Lap sit at 5 of 24. We have now started. Some great drama already at Donington Park. In towards Redgate once again. Guzman Migles here has got a lot of work to do to make sure that he knows, to make sure that he can get back onto that podium. He's a couple of seconds off the back of Marino, who's had a good start. He was down in 6th place and has had a good start at the moment. There's Tim Portsmouth, then, championship leader, up towards McLean's, gaining on the back of Nares further forward. For Portsmouth here, he looks like he's got a bit of pace. Maybe found a bit of pace after the qualifying session. Maybe he just had a little mistake that we didn't see. Into the Foggy S's now, nearly breaking on the grass towards the Foggy S's. Through he goes towards the Melbourne hairpin. P7 on the back of Maximilian Nares here in P6. He will really want to try and just close that gap a little bit more to try and have the opportunity to overtake Unai Morato. Trying to make a comeback here as well, down in 10th place. Just too late on the brakes back at Goddard's a few laps ago. What can he do down the order now? 10th place. He's got pace as the young man. He's a really, really quick driver. Let's see if we can get the timing tower up for everybody at the moment, so we can see what drivers are doing what kind of lap times at the moment. Here is Unai Morato then into McLean's, getting closer to the back of Schmidt. And being able to just try and carry the momentum through the Fogarty S's then is Unai Morato at the moment. Still on the back of Schmidt, not able to, thus far to get any closer. Has another look, a big send again. Oh, he's clipped the back of another driver. Thankfully, Schmidt's carried on going. Morato's gone onto the grass, and again, just a day late, dollar short into the hairpin corner. Unai Morato has fell foul once again as fastest lap for Adrian Gomez. And Morato there, really struggling at the moment. to get anything out of this so far. He's just making too many little errors in this race that is just costing him at the moment. So now he's got work to do again. He's dropped to 12th place. So he's lost 2 more places in this one. This is a replay. Once again, look, bang, just carries too much speed in. Does Morotto there. Just got to be careful. The hairpins are the best overtaking opportunities. There you can see his reaction in the cockpit. They're the best overtaking opportunities, but you've got to make sure the room is there to get the move done. Here's Timothy Spearson. He's up to 13th place from by the back of the grid. So a good run for him and for Melvin, to be fair. Melvin's up to 11th from dead last, so a good run for the pair of them. There is Ivan Marino, Adrian Gomez, fastest lap again. With a 1:16.071. Adrian Gomez is the man setting the timing screens alight. Nobody is near him. 3/10, nearly 4/10. The next man that's closest to him. Where is Tim Portsmatter? Lapped a little bit slower than Maximilian Nares on the last time around. It's going to be tough for Tim Portsmatter to try and close that gap, I feel. There is your championship leader. Is this going to be enough for him to keep the points and to be able to take a lead in towards Interlagos? The gap was 10 points, let's not forget. So will that be enough to take it through in towards Interlagos? Down into the foggy S as they come once again. Just gone into that quiet phase of the race before the end, which normally gets a little heated between some of the drivers out there. I'm just trying to see if we can find a points tally. So 25 for Adrian Gomez and only the 6 for Tim Portsmatter. So Tim needs to get a wriggle on here because that gives... well, that's an 18-point advantage to Adrian Gomez in this race. And he's only 10 behind, so Gomez will potentially lead by 8 points going into the next race. So if you're Tim Portsmatter, you've got to pick up the pace and you've got to make a couple of overtakes. He's on the back of Nares, and that is 1.5 seconds, and to Guzman Migles. Here is Melvin, looking on the back of Jamie then for P10 and 11 at the moment. Melvin from the back of the grid, let's not forget. He's worked his way forward nicely. He's got 3 cars in front of him here. All that could give him a couple of points in the championship. This will be a nice, interesting one to see what Melvin is able to do. Norik down in 17th has just got past Schwartzman. So has Patrick Dubac there. So I wonder if that's a problem for Schwartzman. Tyler Saber, 15 seconds off the back here. So he must have had a big moment somewhere. Now down towards Goddard's. Once again, Unai Morotto's on the back of Melvin. So Morotto's really got to be cautious now. He's done it twice. He doesn't want to do it for a third time. Gomez out front has got over a 3-second lead at the moment. Harry Scanderi P4, Nestor Garcia in P2. Sorry, Harry Scanderi's P3, Ivan Marino's P4. Then it's Guzman Migles who's getting closer to Ivan Marino on the timing tower, but this is the battle between Lorenz Stump, Xavier Schmidt, Jamie Ego, Melvin, and then Unai Morotto as well. Here is Tim Portsmatter trying to just close on the back of Maximilian Nares once again. Got work to do. 8 points could be the deficit that he will be behind Adrian Gomez going into Interlagos. And we're just running out of laps. We're coming up to halfway of this Donington Park race. There's still a lot of racing to go in this one. And Tim's just got to try and find that extra little bit of something. Because at the moment, he's just struggling to have, the outright pace. Unai Morotto's got past Melvin. Melvin's repassed him on the timing tower further down the order. There is the action. That is Unai Morotto going back up the inside through Goddard. Side by side they come. Melvin's going to have that inside line in towards Redgate corner. Down the start straight they come, in towards Redgate. Morotto's going to try and hang it around the outside. That's a very brave move, but sadly drops a wheel onto the grass, costs him the momentum. I've seen it done, but not there. Not that time for Morotto. And Melvin hangs on to fight yet another day. Morotto's got good pace today. Problem is, he's just made one too many mistakes. As again, you overlook the campsite on the infield, the outside of Starkey's Bridge. Beautiful place to come and watch a bit of motor racing is Donington Park. Here then, Tim Portsmouth. It just looks a little closer at the moment as they come through the fog at ESs. Not close enough to have a move into Goddard's, but he definitely looks a little closer at the moment in time. Up towards Goddard's now, past what used to be the old pit entry. It's now only the one used on the start-finish straight. He definitely is gaining, is Tim Portsmouth. Definitely closer now. I still don't think he's close enough into Redgate. And Donington Park's one of them circuits where if you can't pass here, you've got to set them up for 2 or 3 corners time. If I'm Tim Portsmouth, I'm looking at setting him up for McLean's. But he looks like he's had a moment through Redgate and Hollywood, and he's dropped back a little bit now. And Maximilian's just opened that gap back up a little bit more. So Tim Portsmouth definitely has struggled through Redgate corner this time around. Was that the dirty air from the car in front? Either way, he's got to start to think clever. He's got to start to think smart as Tim. He's got to set his driver up for 2 or 3 corners time, because you can't overtake around certain places here. You wouldn't want to try it down the crane of curves. Again, I've seen it done many a time, but it is a risky place to make an overtake. As Melvin there really fighting with the wheel coming through the fog at TS is now goes on the defensive against Unai Morotto, who comes up the inside at the Melbourne hairpin once again, gets it stopped, parked on the apex beautifully. Melvin though, you can defend around the outside because you can keep that momentum to carry it into the inside of Goddard's. And has Melvin gone a little deep? Morotto's trying to find a gap underneath, can't do so there. Morotto looks racy today, looks really quick out there at the moment. That's a spinner in the background just rejoining very slowly across the part of grass on the outside of Goddard's. Unai Morotto will have to wait once again. Again, if you're Unai, set it up for McLean's corner at the top of the hill. He's not close enough at the moment, but this is where you can try and gain that momentum, gain that speed in towards Goddard, in towards McLean's. And well, that's just been ruined. The curse of the commentator strikes again. Adrian Gomez, 3.5 seconds out from. He is absolutely checked out. He is flying in this race. Here's Guzman Migueles. After being spun around at Goddard's by Morotto a few laps ago, over the halfway stage, he's now gained on the P4 man of Ivan Moreno. And what is he going to be able to do when he gets on the back of him? Can he try and get through as quick as he possibly can? Down towards Redgate corner they go for the 14th time. Migueles looking for that podium in this race. Was on it quite comfortably and was hassling the back of Garcia. But sadly that wasn't to be come the end of it. Here is Migueles climbing up the hill in towards the Schwantz curve now. Through into McLean's, just getting closer and closer to the back of the car in front. Dirty edge gives him a little twitch on the exit of the corner. Nothing more than that. Not close enough to have a look in the foggy S's. It'll be about the momentum he can carry through the foggy S's to get him on the back of him into the Melbourne hairpin. And for Guzman here, kind of a bit of a stalemate at the moment, because he's getting close enough, then has a little wiggle and loses the time he's found. Although that's a great run through the Melbourne loop, the Melbourne hairpin, sorry. Just puts himself within a couple of tenths now, and again, look, even closer under braking in towards Goddard's. And that is Scandiri just in front of them, so that is the podium right there. This is back with Melvin at the moment. Who's out on the back of Morotto? That is Timothy Spearson from the back of the grid with Melvin, who's now on this train. All behind that of Xavier Schmidt at the moment. Gomez, untouchable in this race so far. Absolutely untouchable. And here comes Unai Morotto having a look on the outside of the Craner curves. That's a bold move on the outside there. And Melvin says no thank you, closes the door and manages to stay ahead of Unai Morotto, who is looking like he's got a bit of pace today. What could he have done barring them mistakes? Now through Coppice goes Melvin. Driver's just having a look. Melvin already trying to break the slipstream of Unai Morotto behind early on. And already pick his line in towards the Foggy S as they go. It's been a good race so far. Plenty of drama. Just sliding out the corner a little bit more than he'd have liked to there. Down the start-finish straight he comes once again. And here's Morotto now, able to just close that gap once again. He's lost out a couple attempts. Just looking at Portsmouth, he's 2.6 off the back of Maximilian, so he's nowhere near him at the moment. It looks like P7 thus far for Tim Portsmouth, your championship leader, who possibly, or provisionally should I say, will not be the championship leader come the end of this race. He's now got pressure, oh no, that's Ivan Marino, sorry, in the yellow and black car. He's coming under pressure still from Guzman Migles. There is Schwartzman down in 18th place. Just trying to gain on the back, little mistake through McLean's here, running a little too wide. Back to Marino now then. P4, he's got Scandiri right in front of him. Migles right behind him. And you can see a great big gap back to Maximilian Nares and then Tim Portsmouth as well. And Marino trying to attack and defend. Here at the moment, down through the Craner curves they go once again. Look like Migles got a little bit closer through the Craner curves. What has happened to Melvin? He's just lost 2 places to Morotto and Spearson and to Christoffel. So Melvin dropping down the order there. We'll try and get a replay of that if we can. This is Guzman Migles. Who is just crawling onto the back of the cars in front, but it's very slowly. Great bit of momentum. Look at that under the brakes through the Foggy S's. Now gets right on the back of Ivan Moreno in front. Does he think of a lunge? He does. Lunges up the inside. Gets it stopped on the apex. And he is not quite through yet. Marino just hanging on. He'll have the inside line in for Goddard's corner. And Marino fighting hard now against Adam Migles. Manages to come out back on top. But Migles is right there, willing up to make another lunge. I didn't think he was going to at Melbourne Hairpin. He's going to come up the inside at Redgate though. And that will be job done for Guzman Migles. Although still back comes Ivan Marino. Very brave now into the Craner curves. They go side by side. Will there be any contact? There is. And off onto the grass goes Guzman Migles. Very difficult place to go side by side. And that's the problem. You lose all momentum into the old hairpin. And here comes Tim Portsmouth. Jamie's now attacking the back of that of Xavier Schmidt. And Portsmouth on the timing tower did get Guzman Migles. That is huge because that now means that he'll score 8 points, not the 6 in this race. So it will still be the 18-point swing, because I actually read it wrong a moment ago. It will still be the 18-point swing. At the moment, this is absolutely everything. Sorry, not 18 points. Yeah, no, 18 points, yeah, that's right. This is everything that Adrian Gomez needed. He'll lead by 8 points. This was actually worse for Tim Portsmatter earlier on. Now Tim's closer as well to the back of Nes. Nesta Garcia sets the fastest lap, but he's 2.6 behind. Apparently, I'm seeing that Morotto is in the pit lane. From what I've just read. Not sure why. Here comes Jamie to have a look on the outside of Xavier Schmidt in towards the Redgate corner. Again, it'll be brave to go around the outside. Looking maybe for the up and under for the Swiss driver. Can't get the move done. Xavier will hang on to that one yet again. Is Jamie looking to try and make the move down the crater curve? Set him up, Jamie. Try and get him done on the brakes into the old hairpin. No, he can't. And stays back out. Stays back behind. Who's that just ahead of them as well? That's Lauren Stump, who's just ahead of them. So they're gaining on Stump as well. And just behind these two is Timothy Spearson, now looking for a point. I'm sure I read that Morotto was in the pit lane. I'm not sure what has happened to Unai there, but it's still saying he's in P14. Jamie once again attacking. No, he's being attacked now by Timothy Spearson. Timothy come to try and attack. Guzman Migles has repassed Tim Portsmatter on the timing tower. That is huge now then. So Tim will only score 6 points. He will lose 24 points. 23 points, sorry, to that of Adrian Gomez. He'll lose 19 points. No, he won't even lose 23. My maths is terrible today. Apologies, folks. He'll lose 19 points. I've had to bring up the calculator for that simple maths. So he'll lose 19 points. That'll put him 9 points behind. So any maths I've done today, please ignore, because the maths is terrible at the moment. It is not working correct. We've got the calculator up. We'll use that going forward from now on. But he'll lose 19 points to Gomez. So he'll be 9 points behind Adrian Gomez going into Lagos later on in the programme. Lap 20 of 24. And Portsmouth has just not had the pace today. He's just not had the pace out there at the moment as Tim Portsmatter. This is the brilliant drone footage here overlooking Donington Park, coming up straight towards Goddard's now. See the hospitality building just on the inside there, overlooking the balcony, overlooking the final corner. Brilliant scenes. Bit of hospitality just this side of the pit lane as well, on the outside of turn one. These buildings there. Beautiful place to go sit and watch some fantastic motor racing. Unai Morotto, fastest man on the circuit, 15.7. So he's back out on track if he's been in the pits. We're not sure why. He's back out there. And Xavier Schmidt at the moment, P9. He's on the back now of Laurent Stump. Through the right-hander he goes. Can Xavier just maybe get one more place in this race then? Through the foggy Esters once again. I love how the drivers attack the foggy Esters here today. Really good to see. Lap 22 we've started of 24, so 3 to go. Another train forming, Xavier Schmidt, Laurent Stump, Schmidt, Jamie, Timothy, all in this queue. Portsmouth is 2 seconds behind Migles, so he just has not got the pace at the moment. And it's about to be a 9-point swing. In this championship fight, going the way of Adrian Gomez. Interlagos, though, a completely different kettle of fish, completely different circuit to Donington Park. Can Portsmouth find some more pace back there? Gomez has put on an absolute masterclass here at Donington Park. Good little fight here for P8, 9, 10 and 11. Little quartet of cars. As we're about to start the penultimate lap of the race. Lap 23 for these drivers. They're about to start. Gomez has already started. He's got a 4-second lead over Néstor Garcia. And I suppose the thing to wonder is what would have happened to Unai Morato had their mistakes not came in. Where would he have finished? Would he have knocked Portsmouth down another place? And towards the old hairpin we go once again. It's just quieted down as this race has gone on a little bit. These four are close, but not putting each other under any pressure at the moment. Nobody's having to defend offline so far. But all nice and calm here at Donington Park. Through Coppice Corner we go, down the Starkey Straight for the penultimate time this race. Adrian Gomez has just been in absolute control of this one. On board with Jamie there, just trying to carry some momentum through the foggy S's in towards the Melbourne hairpin. He goes, still can't get close enough to have a look. Timothy Spearson's getting closer. He's been creeping his way onto the back of the points here. There's Timothy Spearson. Good drive from the Australian driver. Oh, Jamie got a little close. Got a little close through Goddard's there. Guzman Migles has passed Nares then for 5th and 6th. Portsmouth. In fact, am I reading that wrong? Where? Oh no, Portsmouth is 7th, so I was reading that wrong. So Migles has passed Nares and puts Migles back up into P5. And on the final lap then, I think this is going to stay as it pretty much is, because these four are just not close enough to one another to make the overtake. But one man who's been dominant is this man here, coming in towards the Melbourne hairpin for the final time. He was 10 points behind going into Donington Park. It's not the Donington decider because we head to Interlagos. But it is going to be a big smile in Madrid. And a big smile for Adrian Gomez, who wins here at Donington Park. A flawless lights to flag victory for Adrian Gomez. Néstor Garcia, P number 2 with Harry Scanderi coming across the line now in 3rd place. Ivan Reno will be P4 from Guzman Migles. And then Maximilian Nares. Tim Portsmouth though in 7th. And that has huge championship implications. Adrian Gomez, by my calculations, will be 9 points clear at the top of the standings. But it's Adrian Gomez who is your man on top here at Donington Park. He wins from lights to flag. Great scenes for Adrian Gomez in the Madrid lounge, as well as for Néstor Garcia there. Double Madrid podium. From what I'm seeing from Fabio in the chat, that could have been Harry. That is Harry Scanderi's first podium. So he'll be a very, very happy man, no doubt about that one. But it's Adrian Gomez on top in the Midlands here in the UK. He wins at Donington Park. Harry Scanderi there, a very happy man with his podium. But it's all about Adrian Gomez taking the race win. It's in Portsmouth there, look. They're all over the moon. That's great scenes in Zurich. His first ever Racing Unleashed podium. They're absolutely over the moon for Harry Scanderi. I'm sure if Tim Portsmouth knows just yet the championship, he doesn't lead anymore. But what a drive from the top 3. Adrian Gomez dominant at Donington. With Daring Garcia and Manav Gomez's interviews. Just been told that Garcia's interview will be translated by our Racing Unleashed employees in Madrid. So we will ask the questions and we'll get it translated back to us. But Gomez on top in Donington from Manav Garcia and Haris Skenderi for his first ever podium. And what scenes it was in the Zurich lounge. Great to see from everybody there. We'll bring you the provisional classifications in a few moments' time after the interviews, as well as then, or hopefully, the provisional championship standings as it looks at the moment. So far, by my calculations, Gomez leads by 9 points. But don't hold me to that one because my maths have been off all day. But Gomez leads here after Donington Park ahead of Nestor Garcia. Haris Skenderi P3 from Ivan Marino. Guzman Migles P5. Tim Portsmatter in 6th from Lauren Stump. Xavier Schmidt from Jamie Ego in P9. Timothy Spearson got 10th place at the very end. He got past Christoffel. Oh no, it was Maximilian Nares actually who's dropped down to 14th place. I'm noting on the timing tower there. So Spearson, Christoffel, Melvin, Unai Morotto 13th place. What could have been for him today. Nares dropped down quite a bit. Then it's Walter Troning, Patrick Dubak, Norik Loki, Navin Schwartzman, Mark Hammers there, and then Tyler Sabe. Mark Hammers, I do believe. Again, apologies if there's any mispronunciations of names. Drivers, if you are listening, do get in touch with me on Instagram or Discord, and I'll try and get the pronunciation bang on, especially going into the start of the new season. But that then is your heat of Donington Park done. Dominant at Donington, I suppose you could say, for Adrian Gomez. Pole position was just, only just because he set the time just ahead of Nestor Garcia. And then it was, 2.6 doesn't sound like it was dominant, but it was so much under control from Gomez that he had that one in the bag. A great start to the day as we head to Interlagos. Looking forward for the second race of the afternoon. It's going to be an interesting one to see. We're just waiting for Skenderi, just having a few technical issues at the moment, so we're just waiting for Skenderi to come into the commentary box with us and have a chat, and I'm sure he's going to be a very happy man. Be a top 20 drivers there, all provisional. Let's not forget, all results are always provisional here at Racing Unleashed. While the stewards and race control will just keep their eyes over, or to cast their eyes over any incidents that have happened during this time. We are awaiting the driver interviews at the moment. And we can now speak with Haris Skenderi live from Zurich, who will be a very, very happy man, I'm sure. His first podium. You look very, very chuffed with that. Everybody in the Zurich lounge came over and gave you a big hug. What does that mean to you?
Honestly, it has been amazing. I wouldn't have thought that I would stand here on the podium today. And it really means a lot to me that everybody came to me and congratulated me for the podium. So, yeah, I think it's amazing.
You've worked very hard to get onto this podium. You've been there or thereabouts every time. You've had good results. You've finally got onto it. Good race at Donington Park.
Yes, of course. Thank you, man. It has been honestly really crazy for me. I qualified P6, and I had a little fight with Jamie, and then I passed him, and then two in front of me has spun, and I think that is what has given me the podium here today.
You've got to take a bit of good fortune all the time. We head to Interlagos in just a moment. What can you do with Interlagos? Brilliant circuit to go racing at, but it's going to provide its challenges.
I think for me, Interlagos could go well because I had better pace there than on Donington Park. So I think the only thing I can do is drive clean, get a good quali pace, and see what happens in the race.
Well, Harris, enjoy the podium. Good luck for Interlagos. You thoroughly deserve that one. Well done.
Thank you very much, Matthew.
And we can go over to Madrid to speak with our second place man. Remember, this interview will be translated for the driver by our colleagues in Madrid. But second place on your first race out there, how was that one for you?
Segundo puesto en la primera carrera, ¿cómo ha ido para ti?
Bien, bastante bien, la verdad. La quali no fue nada buena, pero sorprendentemente creo que nadie hizo una gran vuelta en clasificación. Salí segundo y luego en carrera, desgraciadamente ha habido incidentes por detrás nuestra y viendo lo difícil que es adelantar, pues al final he decidido mantener la segunda posición, hacer off tracks y llevar el coche hasta el final y a ver ahora en Brasil.
Here are talking that on the qualifying it's like very bad qualifying for all the drivers here in Madrid because here are always like in 16.0, so it's not good quali for all the drivers here, but here like only in 0.5. And on the race, he just leave the second position because he see like the Adrian have very good time too, and he see like the accident behind him, and he just leave the second position and go to Interlagos because he need to make many points.
Interlagos is going to be a different type of race for the drivers, different circuit completely to Donington Park, bit more chance of overtakes possibly. What can he do at Interlagos?
Ahora vamos a Brasil, a Interlagos, hay muchas más posibilidades de adelantar. ¿Qué opinas sobre este circuito? ¿Tendrás posibilidad de adelantar si no haces pole?
Sí, es un circuito donde los entrenamientos hemos visto que es más sencillo adelantar que en Donington. Así que bueno, veremos a ver qué tal va la quali y luego en carrera pues salir ya con los coches que hay alrededor, intentar poner el ritmo y ver qué depara al final la clasificación, que necesito 7 puntos más que el siguiente clasificado para pasar.
Yes, of course that here saying that in Interlagos you have more opportunity to overtake, but here choosing his qualifying in Interlagos, so we'll check how we can do. And of course that, for example, he just know that maybe he needs 6 points to maybe advance to the RU2 championship. So we'll see what happens.
Well, congratulations on the P2 and best of luck for Interlagos.
Thank you. Enhorabuena.
And we'll try and get to speak with Adrian Gomez in just a few moments' time there. Interlagos, it's going to be a fascinating one to see what happens. We are going to get a quick word with Adrian Gomez as well. We can speak with Adrian, I believe, now. You knew what you had to do coming into this week's racing, and that was beat Tim Portsmouth by 11 or more points in these two races. 19 points you've just beaten him by there, so that's a huge margin already.
Yeah, as you say, I don't know, 11 points I think to Tim Portsmouth, I'm not pretty sure. But yeah, talking about this race, it was pretty easy win. I did an unexpected pole, to be honest. I did 0.5 and I did the same time as Nestor, who is crazy. And yeah, pole position and winning Donington, so it's pretty good. But the job is not done. We have to race in Interlagos right now, so I will try to win the championship.
It looked a very controlled race from you, Adrian, if you don't mind me saying. You got away well, did the job you needed to do at the start, and then it just looked controlled from you from there, not really coming under any pressure.
Yeah, I did a decent start. So yeah, I defend my position, and there I was controlling the race, controlling the track limits. So yeah, I did a good job. So we need to finish the job in Interlagos right now.
Well, best of luck for Interlagos. We've got to let you go. So have a good race and congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
And that then is Adrian Gomez, your race winner at Donington Park as we get ready for the Interlagos race. But let's take a look back at what happened in race one. Welcome back then, ladies and gentlemen, ready for the Interlagos section of the race and the final race here of RU3 this season for 2025. We move in towards that new year with RU1, 2 and 3 back for more action in the next year, which drivers can be promoted from today to get into that RU2 format of next year. It's going to be an interesting race here at Interlagos. The circuit is an absolutely beautiful one to drive through. Fantastic racing at Interlagos with always a little bit of weather. No weather today, sadly, but the 2.678 mile circuit, 4.3 in kilometres, is ready to go. We are having a little bit of technical problems with the report forms from the Donington Park race. So there may be a slight delay. Nothing has been said at the moment, and then we'll let you know if something does happen. But a slight drama, or a slight technical issue, should I say, with the report forms. Hopefully everything is okay before then. The Spanish drivers not fully yet back in their simulators, so hopefully they get back in just a moment for their racing. And at Madrid, in Munich, everybody is good to go there. And this is going to be an interesting one. I'm a big, huge fan of Interlagos. It's going to be a beautiful time, a beautiful race, should I say. Could see some great lap times out there on the board. And this is going to be an interesting one to keep our eyes on. Everybody's ready in Zurich. Harry Scanderi, though, his first ever podium. You saw the emotions there. And Gomez, if I am correct, and hopefully we can bring you an updated championship standings screen, obviously of all provisional results, but I do believe that Adrian Gomez leads the championship by some 9 points. So let's wait and see what happens when we get that one updated in a few moments' time. There in Zurich, everybody is ready to go. Our Racing Unleashed colleagues there just helping one of the drivers out. We all look like we are good to go in Zurich, as it looks like everybody is being sent to the Interlagos track now. Final bit of fluids taken on board there in Madrid. Still no update on the standings at the moment, so we aren't able to show you them. Bradley, and qualification, we can see, is underway at the moment. Well, I'm not sure what's happening for Timothy Spearson. That looks like there. Hands off the wheel, and looking like there's a little bit of an issue maybe. No, hands back on the wheel, and away he goes now for his qualifying in this one. This is from the live camera crew in Zurich then, out the pit lane. Beautiful pit exit down through the center S's. On to them. The first of the straights out the pit lane. Here we go then. Coming up towards turn number 5. No, turn 6, 7 and 8. On the outlap at the moment. And this is Tyler Saber that we are on board with right now. And this is going to be his preparation lap to make sure he's underway and able to get going. This could be one to watch and keep our eyes on in this race, in this qualifying session. Tyler Saber, can he put it on pole? This is the driver we're going to watch throughout the whole time. Remember, if you are just tuning into Racing Unleashed and you are new here at Racing Unleashed, it's a one-shot shootout for the drivers. They don't see each other on the track. It's a solo shootout. 1 lap to get the best time you can possibly set in this qualifying session. Tyler Saber crosses the line now to start his first and only flying lap of this qualifying session, down through the center S's. He goes now through turn 3 of the Curva do Sol, and now on to the Retroposta, down towards turn number 4. A great chance to pick up some slipstream in the race there to make an overtake potentially. Using all the curb on the outside. Now you're going to climb back uphill. I find this circuit has such a nice flow and rhythm to it. You can get into a lovely groove around here. Tyler doing a good job at the moment. Looks a tidy lap. Going to drop back downhill. Just a little burst of acceleration before lifting off through the left-hand bend. Climbing back uphill again. One of the tightest corners on the circuit now. It tightens the more you go through it as well. Now you're about to come down towards the final couple of corners in towards Junsao now. And it's really important to get a good exit from Junsao. Up the hill you have to go. And you are flat out all the way until you come around to the start-finish line. Norik Lockie, currently a 49.8, is the time to beat. He's 5 seconds ahead of everybody else, is what it's saying on the timing tower. I think that may have been his outlap registered, because that is a 23.7. So unless of dramas, Norik Lockie there, then a 22.8. Timothy Spearson now goes to the top of the timing tower, so we don't know who he's going to be where. We'll bring you the rest of the timings when we see them. I've got them on the screen next to me at the moment. Guzman Migueles has now gone pole. Tim Portsmatter is only in 5th, with Adrian Gomez in 4th place at the moment. There are a few drivers just finishing their qualifying lap time at the moment. Stump comes across the line. He goes P11. And I think it's Walter Troninger who we are waiting on to come across the line to finish his lap time. But Tim Portsmatter messed up the last sector. His last sector was not as good as his outlap, as Troninger goes into 11th place there. But Tim Portsmatter's last sector on the timing screens I have next to me was a yellow sector. Purple session best, green personal best, yellow, no improvement. So if he'd have improved in that final sector, he clearly, and this is where I say Junsao is the key to make sure you get an exit onto that final stretch of Interlagos. Right, so while the qualification result gets double checked and gets made sure everything is finalised, let's take a look at Interlagos.
Interlagos, Brazil, one of the most iconic circuits in world motorsport. Famous, of course, by none other than the great Ayrton Senna himself. 3 sectors on this beautiful flowing circuit, and what a majestic place to come motor racing. As you come through some of the world's most famous corners, the Senna S's, Junsao bringing you onto the long start straight, you go then. In towards turn 1 of the Senna S's, dipping away, cambering down to that left-hand side, left then right, making sure you get a good clean exit to come through turn number 3 of the Curva do Sol. And then you can come down the first of the straights. A great chance down the Reta Aposta to maybe make an overtake in towards turn number 4. Down a couple of gears and to the left. Again, it just kind of slants down to that left-hand side. And towards turn 5, you come quickly uphill once again before picking up turn 6. A long right-hander that is 6-7, merging into 8 you go. And it is very, very easy to make a mistake through here. Overtaking very difficult in the middle sector of the lap as you then flick it pretty much straight to the left for turn 9. Being patient on the accelerator as you go through this middle sector. But this is where you feel the flow of this circuit. Turn 10, again a slow right-hander to come through. Turn to the left through turn 11. And then you come to that famous Junsao corner where you need to get this one absolutely spot on. Use the runoff of the curb on the outside before you head through turn 13. Flat scat until turn 1 you go. Slipstreams are going to be key around this circuit. If you're in one, you could have a great run towards the line for a race win, or maybe to gain a place or 2. But Interlagos, looking forward to this.
Interlagos then is a beautiful circuit where we have seen many championships decided, especially in the Formula One over the years. And the final qualification standings for the RU3 season, Guzman Migueles, who had pace at Donny, takes pole position from Nestor Garcia. Once again, the man in second place by 23 thousandths of a second. What a lap that is. Timothy Spearson, better qualifier for him. He lines up in P3. And then it's the championship battle. Adrian Gomez from Tim Portsmatter is P4 and 5. Melvin, a better qualifying up in 6th from Patrick Dubac. Ivan Marino, Andrin Christoffel. Norik Lockie then rounding out the top 10. Walter Troninger is P11 from Lauren Stump. Tyler Saber from Mark Gamez. Then it's Harry Scanderi, not the qualifying he'd have wanted. Jamie Ego down in 16th. And then no time for Nez Schwartzman, Marotto and Xavier Schmidt there then. Now, more of a question to my race director than to you guys in the chat, but can we hopefully, potentially, get some championship news coming through the year if we can't see on the stream? At least keep me informed for this race, because I think I think it's 9 points going into this one. Not as much chatter in the chat this afternoon. Afternoon Cloud, who I just see appear in the chat. Great to see some support in the chat today. Interlagos, so this is going to be fascinating. The championship protagonists, 4th and 5th. And I believe, if my maths was correct, it was 9 points the gap. 9 points. It is so very close. And what will it come down to in this race? So there's going to need to be some overtaking done, especially if you're Tim Portsmatter. If it stays as it stands at the moment and they finish 4th and 5th, Adrian Gomez would score 12 points to Portsmatter's 10, meaning he'd win the championship by 11 points by my maths, and my maths have been off all day. So do not quote me on this one. This is why we're trying to get some information through so that we can be fully aware for you. So when we speak to the drivers at the end, we can be 100% certain that that driver is provisional. Don't forget provisional, because all results are provisional until the investigations have been done at the end of the race, if any investigations. We will try and get full confirmation at the end on who is champion, but it may take a little longer depending on what race control have got to look at. But race control are an experienced team that will always try to get the right decision out there. And this, for me, is the hardest job in sim racing. The drivers have it easy, the commentators have it easy. Silas in my ear, he's got it nice and easy in his broadcasting booth. The drivers are the ones that make the race control, the stewards are the ones that make the tough decisions around here. They are the guys who are under the most watchful eyes of people around all 3 racing lounges at the moment. I've just been sent current standings at the moment. So the points wasn't correct, actually, looking at them on what we showed at the top of the programme, because Portsmatter leads by 9 points. So the points we showed you at the top of the programme wasn't correct, because that had Portsmatter on 18, Gomez on 17. And Gomez has scored 25 for that race win. So Portsmatter gained his 6 points, he stays on 86. Gomez is on 75 now. At the top of the show, I think the graphic said 70, so that would have been incorrect. He's now on 75. So the list. Right, so we are being told that the calculations that we did show you on screen was calculated wrong, and that is now correct. So it is actually Tim Portsmatter who leads by 9 points. Well, that changes everything. So Tim Portsmatter has that 9-point lead going into this race, meaning Gomez is the man who's got to do the business. So at the moment, we can confirm that Portsmatter leads by 9 and that Gomez needs to obviously outscore him by 10 points, because I think Portsmatter's won multiple races. I think he's won 1 at least. So if on a count back, it will possibly go the way of Portsmatter at the moment. But 9 points this man leads by on your screen now. Gomez is currently 4th, Portsmatter's 5th. Gomez has got to finish. Gomez has got to win this race if Portsmatter stays 5th place. That is what's got to happen. There's no ifs or buts about it. If Portsmatter stays P5, Gomez has to win. Obviously, different variations up and down the grid, depending on depending on where Portsmatter may drop to or wherever. So that is what we are. That is where we stand at the moment. If Portsmatter stays 5th place, Gomez has got to win this race. If Portsmatter is P6, Gomez can then afford to finish in 2nd place as well. So a lot of ramifications that we're looking at, a lot of things we're going through. If Portsmatter finishes 7th, Gomez still needs 2nd. If Portsmatter finishes 8th, Gomez needs a minimum of 3rd. Portsmatter finishes 9th, Gomez needs a minimum of 4th. And if Portsmatter finishes 10th, Gomez still needs a minimum of 4th. So Gomez needs at least 4th place, with things to happen then to that of Tim Portsmatter. The higher up Tim Portsmatter finishes is where we are then different things come in. We are being told that the championship standings are correct there. Ivan Marino could possibly still win this one. It would take Portsmatter and Gomez to not score pretty much and him to win the race because he is 24 behind. So if Marino won this race, he'd need Portsmatter to not score a point and Gomez to score less than 9. So Marino could still win this one. So let's see what will happen going into this Interlagos race coming up in a moment. So a lot can change here. We'll try and keep up to date with everything that is happening around the races at the moment, because anything could happen here, and anything probably will happen here. It's going to be an interesting one to keep your eyes on. So just a reminder, Gomez needs at least a minimum of 4th. If he finishes 5th, he will not win that championship. But it's a minimum of 4th depending where Portsmatter finishes. The higher up Portsmatter finishes, the higher up Gomez needs to finish. If Portsmatter finishes 4th place, it is irrelevant. No. If Portsmatter finishes 2nd place, it is irrelevant if Gomez wins the race because their points aren't enough to claw back. But Gomez needs a minimum of 4 points at the moment. Right. Hopefully you're not confused by that. Hopefully we're trying to get, we're trying to keep up to date. We're trying to get it all as accurate as possible. So let's see on what will happen for Gomez or what will happen with Tim Portsmatter. Who's going to win this championship? We're straight onto the grid. The red lights come on the screen. And for the final time in RU3, for the final time of 2025, it's green and go. And it's a decent start from Migles out front. He's managed to cover off the lead in the race, coming down in towards the centre S's for the first time. Portsmatter going right around the outside, on the inside then of Adrian Gomez. Just a bit of wheel-to-wheel bang in there between the two of them. That is Melvin waiting in the wings just behind the pair. Coming down the Retroposta now for the first time. Gomez well on the inside, but as he lost out to Portsmatter, Garcia's back ahead of Spearson. And no, Melvin's got ahead of Portsmatter. So has Ivan Marino, still in this championship fight. And Portsmatter now drops to 7th place, with Gomez coming under pressure from Melvin all the way up through 6, 7 and 8. They go now. Tim Portsmatter trying to fight back, looks up the inside, gets the move done on the inside line. It'll be the outside for the left-hander. Got to try and hold it strong as far round as you can go. Has he kept the momentum of the car there? Yes, he has. As he looks back on the inside of Ivan Marino. Marino is still with him though. Great side-by-side action in the middle sector. Now Portsmatter has to tuck back in. What a good start to this race already. Guzman Migles did the job he needed to do. Spearson got ahead of Garcia as well up front. And then Gomez held on to P4. But now, Tim Portsmatter, what can you do to come back in this race? 7th place at the moment. That is 6 points. Remember, Gomez needs 10 or more. So Gomez at the moment needs to finish 2nd. And is that Marino putting Melvin under a little bit of pressure down into the centre S's? The Brazilian of Melvin on home soil this afternoon. Marino there can't get the move done, so Melvin stays out in front. Now Portsmatter has a run down the Retroposta to the outside line of turn 4 they go. They're nearly 3 wide. They are 3 wide in the background, and Portsmatter cannot get the move done. And it's Lorenz Stump who comes out on top there with Norik Lockie and the 3 wide. Portsmatter now looking back up the inside in 6, just bounces off the curb through 7 into 8, fully side by side with Marino. He was here a lap ago. This time he's got the move done. Tim Portsmatter back into 6th place at the moment. What a drive for the young Swiss, the young Swiss man at the moment. This is fantastic. So Tim Portsmatter back ahead. Oh no, he hasn't got. Oh, Marino's come back in there. Sorry, just looked away for 2 seconds and Marino's got back in front of him. Portsmouth still with work to do. This is Norik Lockie on the back now of Lorenz Stump. To the outside line he goes. Guzman Miguelez, fastest lap of the race. Outside towards the centre S's. Norik Lockie, is it job done? Not quite at the moment. He'll fight him through the second part of the S's. This is a replay of what happened then between Portsmouth and Marino. Portsmouth got up the inside beautifully there. Lockie down the Retroposta to the outside of turn number 4. See there, Tim Portsmouth getting the move done. And Lockie stays behind Stump at the moment. Just behind Lockie then is Dubach and Christoffel. And the more these fight, the more chance Portsmouth has got of not falling into their clutches at the moment. There is Norik. Having a little look there, offline. They're not a million miles away from Tim Portsmouth. It could all change if Portsmouth loses another place. Or if he gets caught by this gaggle of cars, it could all change. Guzman Miguelez leads from Timothy Spearson. Miguelez with another fastest lap of 22.0. And side by side, just behind Norik here, we're seeing that of Christoffel looking up the inside line on Dubach. In towards the centre S as they go. Bit of wheel contact, it looked like there. And Christoffel has a bit of a twitch, tucks back in behind. Can't get past Patrick there then. Due to that, them to have dropped right off the back of Lockie and Stump. Here comes Christoffel once again, down the Retroposta, pulls to that inside line to have a look. Later on the brakes, no, brakes a little early, turns in to turn number 4. Dubach stays ahead at the moment. Good racing out there so far. Spearson still within a second of Miguelez then, so just trying to get closer. He's bringing Garcia and Gomez with him. As Christoffel now still trying to find a way through. 22 laps here at Interlagos. Here's Schwartzman, sorry. Down in 18th place on the back of... oh, he's not on the back anymore. He's looking up the inside. Squeezed onto the grass and contact inevitable. Not around. Went Mark there. But this will open the door for Scanderi, who will be disappointed with this showing after his Donington performance. But for Schwartzman there, just losing out on a place to Scanderi, who's now having a look to the outside line of that of Gamez. Is that going to be done around this centre S's? No, it's not. Stays as we were. Very tight squeeze there from the green Spanish car. He squeezes Scanderi onto the curb a little bit there as well. And now that's brought Schwartzman back into play. Down the Retroposta they go once more. And through on the inside goes Schwartzman. He moves back up to the place he was in. Oh, nearly contact between himself and Scanderi. Looking a long way round turn 5 up towards turn 6. There you go. Spearson fastest lap of the race now. Scanderi gets through there. Unai Morotto waiting in the background. He's had pace at Donington. Just couldn't put it into performance, sadly. Here's Norik Lockie once again. Portsmouth has pulled away from these two a little bit. It's Norik looking up the inside into the Sanna S's. Can't do it just there this time around. Down through turn 3 once again. Spearson 1.7 off the back of Miguelez in the lead of this race. Gomez matching the pace of the leaders. And he's 1.5 off the back of Garcia. It's your fight for 8th and 9th between Stump and Lockie. Oh, what's going on here? This is down the back of the field. Neerzen has dropped down to last place. Schwartzman has also fell behind Unai Morotto. And now Morotto's looking up the inside of his fellow Spaniard, who just squeezes him once again on the entry into the corner. Just a little squeeze, shutting the door on Unai Morotto. Stewards will probably take a look at that one through. Jung Sao goes. Morotto now mounts the curb too much in a slide. Manages to hold on to it well. That's the problem. He's now lost all that momentum coming up the hill through the left-hander. You've got to get Jun Sao absolutely spot on. And Unai Morotto there has not. And this has put Schwartzman all over the back of him. In towards the Senna S's. May even have a look on there. The green car in front, no can do through the Senna S as they go. Beautifully done. And Morotto somehow hangs on to that place. Now Morotto having a look on Mark, down in towards turn 4. Through he goes this time. Unai Morotto up another position. And finally gets through. And now has a bit of clear air before getting onto the back of Harry Skenderi in this one. Spearson just outside a second behind Migles out front. He's got Garcia, who has been within a second all race long. Spearson at the moment, the only man lapping in the 1 minute 21s. There's Gomez now. I say that. Gomez then immediately into the 21s with a 21.8. Fastest man on the circuit. And here's Andrin Christoffel. A good little scrap with Patrick Dubach once again. Reigniting their rivalry. This is on the drone camera of Morotto's overtake coming into turn 4. Lovely little overtake as well. This is Morotto's on board now, as we're still on live pictures with Christoffel. So Adrian Gomez, fastest man on circuit. Andrin Christoffel stays in the points at the moment. What about your championship leader in Tim Portsmatter then? So far, lapping okay. He's matching the car ahead by just losing a couple of hundredths to the cars in front. But matching as well, Stump and Lockie behind. Good run through Junsao. Up the hill we now go. This is on board with Christoffel, who can see that of Lockie and Stump battling it out. And Stump pulls to the inside line now towards the Senna S's. Does he get through on the inside at the Senna S's? Does Lockie on Stump? Yes, he does. So Norik Lockie up another position. He's up to P8. He's got 4.2 seconds to gain on Tim Portsmatter. And that could be huge for the championship. Adrian Gomez took another 10th out the cars ahead of him. Just needs a bit more than that. It's only lap 9 of 22, so at the moment all is going well for Gomez. But he just needs either him to move forward or Portsmatter to drop down. Remember, as it stands at the moment, 3rd place is not enough because it would go back to a count back on race wins between Gomez and Tim Portsmatter. 2nd place would put Gomez in the lead of this championship. So far, it is still in the hands of this man, Tim Portsmatter. Guzman Migles now answers back with the fastest lap of the race. I don't think this is what this one's done yet. The driver's just a little spread out at the moment. I think they're going to come back into play with each other. I think there's going to be more developing in this race. Here's Jamie now. Down in 13th on the back of Xavier Schmidt, going up the inside at turn number 4. And now into 5. It looks like Schmidt was just on the curb a little bit there. Jamie just trying to get past him. Can't do it there. Flicks it to the inside for 6. Not alongside. Tucks back in behind. It's Jamie just starting to have a little look here and there on Xavier Schmidt just to see where he can maybe make an overtake. He'll know by now where he's stronger than the car in front. Schwartzman and Nares there have gained a couple of places down the bottom end of the field. So Migles leads from Spearson. That gap now 2.5 seconds. Still under a second between Spearson and Garcia. Has Jamie got the slipstream he needed? Did he get the run out to Junsao? He's going to have a late pull out here in towards the centre S. As comes Jamie. Up the inside he goes. And that's just a great manoeuvre. The way the corner just cambers down to that left-hand side, the inside of the circuit, you could just carry a bit more momentum into that corner. You see that Jamie there has done exactly what he needed to do. Straight on the defensive over Schmidt. Morotto's moved ahead of Tyler, Saber and Scanderi. Schmidt and Ego, Schmidt and Ego, they're going side by side. And Jamie stays ahead. Unai Morotto up to 15th place now as here comes Xavier Schmidt up the inside of Jamie once again. Through 6 and 7. Move done. Jamie's going to come back at him in turn 8. Great little squabble this. All for 12th and 13th. Gives him the space on the outside. And now we'll tuck back in behind once again. Will there be the door left open? No, there won't. Jamie pulls back to the outside line to get a better run through the corner. He's got to get it done through Junsao. Got to get that run out to Junsao onto the start stretch. Going to have a look before. That's going to possibly compromise him. Although Schmidt's gone deep. That's definitely compromised him. Just got a wheel on the grass. And Jamie's not even going to need the slipstream to get past here. He's going to fly by Xavier Schmidt. That's a great move. Schmidt took straight into the slipstream of Jamie's to immediately attack him back. But he's gone to the outside line at the centre S's. This is what happened a lap ago on the replay in the bottom corner. This is what is happening now. Great move from Jamie a lap ago. Now he holds on to it. Now can he keep Xavier behind him coming down the Retro Aposta? Gomez within a second of Garcia. Garcia within a second of Spearson. Here comes Schmidt having a look up the inside in turn 4. It's a great move. They both stay within the track limits. Jamie gets a better exit though. We'll have the inside line for 6, 7 and 8. What a fight this is. But for all 4, P12 and 13. But it doesn't matter. The drivers won't care what position it's for. They are enjoying themselves out there and putting on a masterclass of wheel-to-wheel racing. And Jamie stays out on top at the moment. Boltzmann is close to the back of Marino in this race as well. Now Gomez has just fell outside that second zone to Garcia. That comes back in it. So ebbing and flowing on the timing towers at the moment. This is Dubach on Christoffel with Stump just up the road and Lockie then. So Lockie's not been able to pull away from Stump like he'd have wanted to. Still stuck around the same times. So Patrick Dubach, what can he do coming up the hill? He's currently just outside the points. The car in front of him, Christoffel, Andrew Christoffel, is for a point. Here's Tim Portsmatter starting to close back in on Marino. As it stands, Portsmatter will still lead this championship. So 9 points he leads by. At the moment, he will score 6 and Gomez will score 12. So he's only being outscored by 6 points. If Gomez gets third place, it will go to a countback of race wins. But what a tight championship. 6 heats we've had that are ending this season and ending 2025, looking into 26 with RU1 and RU2, as well as RU3 coming back. Adrian Gomez on the back of Garcia and Spearson. And Migles isn't far up the road neither, you know. This could be huge for Gomez, who for the last couple of years in the Challenger League has always been knocking on the door of a couple of good results. Had it not been for David Seed, had it not been for Ciro Zambra, had it not been for Yannick Pletcher, Gomez has always been there or thereabouts. And he'd love to be there. Doesn't want to be the bridesmaid this year. Tim Portsmatter looking at the rear of Ivan Marino's car. Knows he needs to get past him. Portsmatter knows what he needs to do. Edge of your seat stuff in the Madrid and Zurich lounges, I'm sure. For Tim Portsmatter at the moment, he's the man doing the job in this championship. Every point he grabs will be even better. He's 5 seconds clear of Lockie in 8th place. So that one, barring a disaster, looks like it's going to be a minimum of 7th. This man, though, he's got to do the opposite. He's got to do the hard work. And at the moment, that hard work is to pass one more car. One more car for a countback, 2 more cars to outscore by 12 points. There's your leader, Migles. There's Spearson. There's Garcia. This is on board with Gomez. Into the center S's now. Gomez did everything he needed to do in that opener. He will know what he's got to do. The Madrid lounge will know what he's got to do. Adrian Gomez at the moment needs 1 car for a countback, 2 to take the championship. But Portsmatter is getting closer to Marino. Portsmatter is getting closer here. And is this his opportunity to try and take some points back? Melvin just isn't really near the top 4, 2 and a bit seconds off the back of them. But he's also 2 and a bit seconds clear of these 2. So you feel like Melvin's in a nice rhythm at the moment. Oh, Tim, a little slide out of Junsao there. Lap 16 of 22. The laps start to tick away. We start lap 17. They're ticking away in this championship. And has Tim Portsmatter got the run? Marino's going to force him to the outside of the opening part of the Senna S's. And can Tim Portsmatter hang one around the outside of Marino? They're fully together. Up the inside, Tim Portsmatter's through and into 6th place. Now that gives him 8 points. So now the minimum that Gomez needs is 2nd, but it's not done because Marino's coming right back at him. Down the Reta Reposta into turn 4. Oh, Marino just cannot get past there, and Tim Portsmatter hangs on for 6th place at the moment. growing in confidence is Tim as this race goes on. He's just got closer and closer to the back of Marino. Now Gomez needs second place. Third is no longer good enough. Side by side, there's the drivers. Marino on the left, Portsmouth on the right. Live from Madrid and the Zurich lounges then. Now can Tim Portsmouth just start to close that gap on Melvin. It's about 4 seconds, 5 seconds. It's good that it's saying it's 7 now, so Melvin is flying, but now Gomez needs second place. Although not yet he doesn't, because Marino's not letting this one go. Left, right. Oh, Portsmouth just moves a little too many times here. And Marino up the inside of the centre S's. Portsmouth slides on exit, manages to keep it all together. Now can he get the run out of 3 down the Redder Apostle in towards turn 4. Back comes the Swiss driver. Great driving from the pair of them. Portsmouth is being shown the outside line. Into turn 4. Can he hold it strong? A little wiggle there for Marino. And Portsmouth can't get it done there then. So they now swap back after a lap. Great racing here at Interlagos. Up and down the field. Now Gomez needs third. Or a minimum of third, should I say. Moving through towards Junsao they go. Portsmouth just fell off the back of Marino a little bit through the middle sector. Needs to keep his composure, needs to get ahead of Marino. Here's Adrian Gomez getting closer to the back of Garcia then. There is Gomez in the lounge at Madrid. Fully focused. Fully determined. Migles has not put a foot wrong in this race. It could be another lights to flag victory for the Madrid lounge. But it's all about what this man can do. Adrian Gomez at the moment needs that P3. Lap 19 of 22. The laps are running out for him. 3 and a bit to go. Lockie's only within 2 seconds now of Portsmouth. So the more that Portsmouth and Marino fight, that's going to bring Norik Lockie into play. I think Melvin's too far out of reach for Tim Portsmouth if he gets past Marino. But Adrian Gomez now will want to get past Garcia. A little wiggle for Garcia through the centre S's there. And has that put him out of shape a little bit to Adrian Gomez down the Redder Apostle? He's already gone defensive as Garcia. And you can see Gomez just gaining in the slipstream, pulls to the outside, now breaks a little later. They make a little bit of contact as Gomez just swoops around the outside. He's been pushed off the circuit. Adrian Gomez pushed off the circuit by Garcia there. And that'll be one for the stewards to take a look at, I'm sure. But Adrian Gomez now starting to mount a challenge. He does not need an incident in this race. This is a replay of what happened and just pushed off the circuit there by Garcia. Sure, the stewards will be investigating that one on behalf of Adrian Gomez. Now he's in the slipstream again. A good run through Junsao down towards the start-finish line for Adrian Gomez. Is he going to look to the inside for a late move up the inside at the centre? Estes pulls to the inside line, breaks a little later, gets up the inside of Garcia. He's not through yet. The outside of the second part of the S's. He's still got a nose in there for the inside at turn 3. Now down the retro poster. Is he ahead of Garcia? He is. He's got half a car's length ahead of him. And he'll have the inside line crucially for turn 4. This is allowing Spearson to just pull away a little bit. And the difference is 9 points, so it will go to a countback. On the left, Garcia. On the right, Adrian Gomez. Can he catch Spearson in a lap and a half? Third place. No, he needs third place, sorry, for that countback. Or he needs Portsmouth to lose more. It's coming down to the wire. So at the moment, Gomez will score 12 points. Portsmouth will score 6. The gap is 9, so it'll be down to 3 in favour of Portsmouth at the moment. We've got 1 lap to go. And Tim Portsmouth could be crowned the very first, the inaugural RU3 champion. Remember, all results are provisional. Gomez needs to find 3 seconds. We will try and get the full confirmation as quickly as we can. We are working hard on it behind the scenes to make sure everything is bang on. But from what I'm looking at the moment, it's going to go 3 points the way of Portsmouth. What a race this has been. It's been fantastic, action-packed throughout here in Interlagos. And Guzman Migueles is about to get a race win. Gomez getting closer, you saw there. But it's not going to matter, because through Jung Sao comes Guzman Migueles. Unless something happens to Timothy Spearson now, Guzman Migueles already has a smile on his face. Another masterclass, another lights to flag victory. Guzman Migueles comes to the line and wins heat number 6 at Interlagos, with Timothy Spearson in second place, Adrian Gomez in P3. And that is 15 points for Gomez, remember. 6 points for Tim Portsmouth. So it goes to a countback. It goes to a countback. But Guzman Migueles is your race winner here at Interlagos. Stunning lights to flag victory once again. At the moment, Guzman Migueles, Timothy Spearson, Adrian Gomez, your top 3. That man will be very happy with a comfortable win. Guzman Migueles then, P number 1. What a drive in Interlagos for that man. Timothy Spearson, a better second race for him today. The Australian taking P2. And Adrian Gomez, third place. We are trying to get the calculations done as quick as possible to find out who is champion. And there is Tim Portsmouth. He is unsure. And now the nerves start to creep in. But one thing we know is it was a great drive from Guzman Migueles for the race win. We'll get to speak to the top 3 in just a moment's time. After a fantastic race in Interlagos, the drivers just wait. Imports man there looks a little disgruntled with himself. Knows he probably could have put on a better performance. But what a drive from both Adrian Gomez at Donington Park and from Guzman Migueles at Interlagos to wrap up the RU3 inaugural season here in 2025. It has been great to bring you some of this fantastic action across the series, across this brilliant racing league. We'll be back in that new year with RU2, RU3 and RU1. We can now speak with Andrea Gomez for P3 in this race. I believe he can hear us. Adrian, this was a good race for you, P3 on the road this afternoon. Difficult one though, you had to make the move done at the very end. It was a good fight between you and Garcia.
Yeah, it was fight till the end with Nestor, with Timothy. I don't know where I finished finally in the championship. I think 2 points far to team. I don't know. I have to see the classification, but yeah, I gave everything today. I tried to make that P2. Overtook Nestor 2 times. A lot of fight, and yeah, I tried everything. So we'll wait to the final results.
Yeah. It was a great race for yourself. It's been a great day, a race win and another podium to go with it. A really good day for yourself in terms of what you've done out there on the circuits.
Yeah, it was a very good evening. 25 points in the first race and 15 now. So yeah, the weekend is pretty good, but I think it wasn't enough to win the championship.
Well, let's wait and see. We're just still waiting full confirmation coming through. But what we can say is congratulations on the day. 2 podiums. Enjoy that one. Have a great Christmas and New Year as well. And we'll see you hopefully back in the new year.
Thank you, Matthew.
I believe we'll be able to head over to Zurich then, where we'll be able to speak with Timothy Spearson in just a couple of moments' time, who were a pretty quiet P2. I say quiet, he was having to keep his eye on the drivers behind him in Gomez and Garcia a little bit in this second race. A much better showing than in Interlagos over Donington. We can speak with Timothy now. Timothy, first of all, congratulations on the P2. A very controlled race from yourself there.
Hi, Matthew. Yes, indeed. Big congratulations to Guzman. I think we could have done that in Suzuka as well, but there I was a little bit quicker. But today we brought it home 1-2. Felicidades, fue increíble. Muy grande de ti. Felicidades.
Yeah, a great race between yourselves today. He just had a little bit more than you. He just wasn't able to get quite close enough to make a move.
Yes, but it is what it is. I knew I was fast in Interlagos, and I made a little error in turn 1 in qualifying already. So from there on it was damage limitation, and I am really, really proud of the first corner. What Oscar couldn't do, I managed. So, of course, not quite the same, but you know. And at this point, I would like to say thank you to Racing Unleashed, because in this season, in all the 6 races, the simulators worked flawlessly. And yeah, looking forward to 2026.
Yeah, looking forward to 2026. It's going to be a great year with RU2 and RU1 as well as RU3. Yeah, talk us through a bit more about your preparations now for 2026. We've got a bit of time off. What are you going to be doing in between?
First and foremost, relaxation. I mean, we don't even know yet which car it will be. There was at one time a certain rumor that it might be another RSS car, so it might not be 100% beneficial to train in the old Formula Alpha, Formula 2 car. We don't even know yet if it's a Formula 2 car. We assume so. We'll find out. And as soon as we know, we'll hit the simulator and then see how it goes.
Indeed. Well, Timothy, congratulations on the P2. Enjoy your Christmas and New Year, and we'll see you in 2026 for the new season.
Thanks likewise, Matthew, and thanks a lot for all your nice commentating. You bring a lot of life to the streams, and I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Congratulations there to Timothy Spearson. We can head back over to Madrid to speak with Guzman Migueles, who took a very good race win. Got the pole position, Guzman, and did the job you needed to do in turn one.
Well, I started quite good, to be honest, but Nestor was already looking for down the inside, so I just risked it all and closed the door in the limit. So yeah, after that, very good pace was done throughout all the race. Although team was Spearson, was very fast also. But at the end of the race, I made a huge gap and won this one. So very happy.
It didn't look like at any moment you was under an immense pressure. You looked like you was able to control the race from out front.
Well, I was looking the gap with Spearson, and it was quite the same at the first half of the race. But then I started running faster and taking more confidence. So yes, at the end, I think I won quite comfortably, but it was not easy. I risked it all into the pole position, and I was lucky that I didn't do an off track or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, a great race for you. We obviously now look towards 2026 and the new season coming up ahead of us. What's the plan now? Sort of a bit again, relax, keep training. What's the plan between now and then?
To be honest, I was quite nervous before these two races because I was risking my seat for 2026 because, as you know, it's only for 5 people per launch. So yes, I was out at the beginning because I was last of Madrid, but I trained a lot and I worked to get these results. So yes, I will train obviously in my simulator at home and also in real racing. But I will keep coming here to the launch to put some laps in. Thank you very much.
Well, Guzman, congratulations on the race win this afternoon. We'll catch you hopefully in 2026.
Hopefully yes. I will see you there and thank you for your commentating. It's so good and the simulators are like crazy. They are very good. Thank you.
Thank you for the kind words there. Brilliant. So that we do now look forward, obviously, towards 2026. We look to RU2, we look to RU1, as well as RU coming back. We can take a look at the provision race for the final race at Interlagos. Let's take a look at that provisional result, obviously before penalties are decided in this one. That is the current provisional championship standings. Tim Portsmatter is your provisional champion at the moment by 2 points from Adrian Gomez. Ivan Marino finishes in third with Guzman Migueles P4. Timothy Spearson getting fifth place out of Roberto Miguez, Nestor Garcia, Unai Morotto P8. Harris Skenderi was ninth ahead of Adrian Christoffel, rounding out the top 10. David Firthwich was P11 on 20 points. Xavier Schmidt P12. Norik Lockie 13th from Melvin. Nico Mossa, not seen him today, he was P15. Maximilian Nares was 16th. Lawrence Stump, Jamie Ego, Walter Troninger, Patrick Dubac. Rounding out your top 20 there then. So provisionally at the moment, Tim Portsmatter is your champion. And that is it for the inaugural RU3 season. Once again, all results are provisional. If you want to keep up to date and see who is crowned the RU3 champion, make sure you head over to our social media platforms where you'll be able to keep up to date with everything Racing Unleashed. And that is it for 2025. That is it for the inaugural RU3 season. Tim Portsmatter is your provisional champion at the moment, while investigations are underway from the Interlagos and Donington Park races. But for 2025 and for RU3 season 1, we'll see you in the new year. 2026 awaits us with RU2 and RU1. See you then.
una vez llegabas, te tenías que pasar a segundo.